Hi everyone, I'm here to talk to you about those annotated bibliographies, and give me a second, I'm adjusting my camera. I moved to a new office this week, so my camera got moved. Alright, so on the screen you see an example annotated bibliography, and I'm going to come back to this document. You guys see I'm adding my last name so that I have MLA format at the top. I'll come back to this document in a minute and talk to you about what is in it. And I want to switch over very quickly to the page inside D2L that has all the information about the SA5 Research Challenge. You guys see that I have the assignment instructions, which we went over in class. I'm going to do a separate video on how to access the databases. That'll probably be available sometime this evening. And then the link that I want you to look at is this one. There's a sample annotated bibliography on, we've talked about the Purdue Online Writing Lab in class before for MLA help, but they also have a sample annotated bibliography, and here it is. As I told you in class, it's a works cited entry and then an annotation underneath. The good news is that this example looks like one that a graduate student has done. It's super long, and I have asked you in your homework to only give, for your annotated bibliography, you'll have the works cited entry, as you see here, and then you'll have probably 1 to 3 sentences. The example I'm going to show you in a moment only has 2. So I've managed to write a summary of the source, tell me what the source is about. This helps you to know what the source is about, and also some kind of speculation on where you think you will use the source in your essay, and also how. So let me switch back over to my copy. So here's, a website talking to you about what an annotated bibliography is. It's basically a works cited page with these added annotations, they're called, underneath the works cited entry to talk about what the source is about, and also to think about how you'll be using the source in your essay. So you guys see I have my first source here. I found an article on the BBC website. So I've done a basic, here's my basic website source works cited entry, which we've gone over in class before. Author name, article title, title of the website in italics, the company responsible for publishing the website, the date of the article when it was published, and then the URL. And I could cut off that HTTPS, and I forgot to, so I'll do that later. Here's the part I want you to focus on. I'm going to get rid of some of these. I think I do need to capitalize that, actually. It's asking me to capitalize all of these because they're at the beginning of the line, because Microsoft Word doesn't know that this is a works cited entry, and I don't need all of those capitalized, but that one I probably did. So notice this one. I'm going to highlight this one in yellow. My first sentence is my summary. It's telling what the article is about overall in one sentence. So this is the kind of summary you like to do, not the kind we did for the academic summary, which you will sometimes be asked to do. And then my second sentence is telling myself and also my instructor, let me put this one in gray, what I think I'll be doing with the source in my essay. Not only where it might go, but how I will use it. So I've speculated here that I want to put the information about the source in my introduction. However many paragraphs my introduction ends up being. It could be, a couple of paragraphs, might be 1, but I want to use this source in the introduction because it gives an example of how this practice of separating children and parents is happening right now in the United States. It's a current example. So I want to start with something that's current as a way to get people interested in my topic because they've heard about it in the news. And so this will be in the beginning of my essay. And then I'm not going to be talking about specifically this crisis that's happening with the migrant parents and their children, or immigrant parents and their children. I think it's a very important topic, but I have experience with this topic myself, so I'm using this as an example to draw people in so they can understand that this one example that's happening in our country right now, and that is in the news, has happened for actually since the beginning of our country's history, and not just to immigrant families. So, I've in one sentence said it's going to be my intro, and I want to show that this is the most current example, and then I already have explained to you how I think I'm going to lead into something else from this example. I'm using this example specifically to get my audience's attention. All right, so then when I'm ready to do my second source, I will come back over here to the left margin, write the works cited entry as you see for my second source, and then I'll write another annotation, however long that annotation ends up being. You saw in the website that there are multiple paragraphs, but you know, this is for, as I said, a higher level annotated bibliography, so don't worry about doing paragraphs the way you see in that example. Just do 2 sentences, start a new entry, do a couple of more sentences, do your third entry, a couple of more sentences. Assignment's done. So as I said in class, I'm not grading this based on perfection and everything has to be right. I'm more interested in that you're going through the process of experiencing how to do this. It's a part of the research essay experience that you have to find information and use sources in your essay. So one of the best ways to start digesting what's the sources that you're finding is to write an annotation. To summarize helps you to know what the source is about, and then to write that sentence to tell where you think you're going to use it in the essay is helping you to kind of plan for your essay already. Place in your mind, as you're seeing that grid, remember the TID boxes that we use for the blueprints? See in your mind where you think that source is going to go, how you're going to use that source in your essay. So that's sort of the exercise that you're going through in doing this annotated bibliography. Notice the title says annotated bibliography because we do have the works cited entry and the 2 sentences or the 3 sentences, however many sentences it takes you. And then you do have your last name and your page number there. All right, so I think that's all I need to say about this, and you guys will be bringing this to your conference either on the 16th or the 18th. And I will look at it and we can talk about your sources then. So print it out, bring it to your conference, and I will see you next week. Take care. Sorry, I thought I messed it up, but we're good.